Are you guys ready to send my computer to the moon? Because that is exactly what we are doing today in this absolutely humongous Medieval Kingdoms 1212 online battle. This is absolutely insane, and I just thought, why the hell not do this replay? It might be a bit laggy, but we can do slow-mo to kind of counter that lag and just see what the largest battle in 1212 would actually look like, because this is truly that. We have over 29,000 soldiers, 29,000 soldiers on the field of battle today, and yeah, it's just going to be absolutely insane. So big shout out to the guys who sent me in this replay. It must have taken you a long time to record this. But basically, this is a Medieval 1212 online battle using the ×2 submod. So instead of 120, these knights are made up of 240. I think militia is close to like 400 men in a unit. And it's just absolutely insane to see a battle of this scale, especially in the woods as well. If you take a look at the Polish infantry and stuff just like coming out, it's going to be absolutely intense. And I just thought, like, yeah, why the hell not do this battle? It might be a bit laggy, but it's fun to see these huge scale battles, and with slow-mo, the lag literally completely goes away. So yeah, I know, it's like, why not just see what the largest battle would look like? And maybe one day this will be the scale we get to play Total War at, because I think that's one of my biggest complaints about Total War games, is just kind of the scale hasn't really improved in the past, like, you know, 8-10 years, you know. So this is something I always wish and hope we'll eventually get to see one day, and it's just, yeah, it's really cool to see a battle lines like this thick, this large, especially cavalry engagements like this. It's a shame the map isn't bigger as well. I'm really hoping that 1212 will implement the larger battlefield mod into it, like Rise of Mordor has just done, because I think that adds in a lot more. But anyway, let's take a look at the units. And if you guys enjoyed this battle and you want to kind of see more battles like this, maybe not all the time, but every so often, let me know in the comments down below. So starting off on the red side of things, we have two Teutonic Order players. They're going to be kicking off with a huge contingent of heavy knights. I mean, I wouldn't like to face the Teutonic Order with the ×1 submob, let alone the ×2, which just makes their knights even thicker. It's going to be a hard fight for the Polish and Lithuanians. So yeah, they're sitting pretty with a lot of cavalry on this right flank, but the Lithuanians are matching them, so it's going to be an intense battle for sure. Over in their center, they do have a large portion of the spearmen, 240 of them in a unit, looking very scary. And then behind that, we do have some of their halberdier units as well. Again, a pretty deadly unit if they can get into combat with them. Behind them, we do have some Livonian Order crossbowmen and more heavy infantry. We then also have the Grand Master here as well, leading his men in his huge 75-man bodyguard, which is actually kind of normal for the rest of the factions, but obviously, because it's, you know, the Grand Master, his bodyguard is normally a lot smaller. Then for the other player over on this side, we do have another Teutonic Order player, but just look at his cavalry line. I know this is going pretty fast and YouTube is probably compressing the ever-living crap out of this image, but I just want to show you how long this cavalry line is. And as I said, it's a real shame that they're not using the larger battlefield mod, because obviously this cavalry is going to be a lot less effective, but maybe we'll just get like a full-on frontal charge from them. We'll have to see as they start to move forward, as both sides get nearer and nearer to clashing. And again, on his front line, he's just going to have some more crossbowmen, levy crossbowmen, supported by heavier infantry and also halberds. So pretty standard setup right there. In the forest, we do have some of these Pavese crossbowmen from the Polish. They're going to be supported by the sergeants of the high period. So these guys are pretty well equipped with axes, maces, and the falcon-esque swords as well. And the Pavese crossbow should be doing a lot of damage. Behind that, we do have a line of their communal halberds. Again, we're going to be supporting up and going toe-to-toe. And we also have some Polish knights back in. It sounds like we have some cannons as well. Yeah, some culverines or bombards are going to be unleashing hellfire from the woodland area. And then, yeah, obviously we have the great banners of Krakow. Krakow, I think is how you pronounce that. Awesome. I love Polish cavalry. So goddamn cool. Really is. And I'm really happy they chose Poland and Lithuania against the Teutonic Order to do this large battle with, as the cannons continue to come in. And then finally, for the rest of the Lithuanian, and again, I love the Lithuanians because of their shields. I think their shields are the coolest in the mod. Again, you can see some of their awesome looking crossbowmen. On their front line, they're going to have a lot of infantry and other spearmen, but it seems like we are shaping up for a cavalry charge to kick this battle off against the Lithuanians. So we've got thousands of horsemen ready to clash, and you can see the lag is already kicking in a little bit, but it's not too bad, I don't think. And as you can see on slow-mo, the game runs perfect. I mean, like, no lag whatsoever. I wish, I don't know if anyone out there could mod this in. I'm not sure how that works, but I just wish there was battle sounds right now. I think maybe the engine's changed, so it's just kind of very hard to do that. But I just wish there were these sounds, like the men cheering, the fighting going on. I wish there was that going on in the slow-mo. It would literally make these massive online, like these massive scale battles, 30,000 soldiers, way more enjoyable to watch. I mean, already, it's not too bad, but the extra, men screaming and stuff like that, I think is so much cooler. And oh my god, we're going to get a cannon shot coming in. Just skim. Oh no, actually not skimming, directly knocking 2 horsemen out of their saddles, man. Imagine being hit by a bombard shot. Oh my god, there'd be nothing left of you. That'd be absolutely insane. But the cavalry fight has now engaged, and it's just an all-out brawl, and it seems like the Teutonic Order is definitely going to be pushing back the Lithuanians. I mean, we always expected that. And as well as that, the Teutonic Order are advancing forward their infantry a lot quicker. They have a lot more down here to reinforce them. They even have some cavalry as well in reserve to help buff this up. Numbers-wise, they are still very similar, but you can see, obviously, that the heavily armored knights of this religious order doing a great job at repelling the Lithuanians. And obviously, we're supporting them with infantry very quickly. This is a nice, defensive move here by the red team of the Teutonic Order, because the sooner you get infantry to these fights, the sooner they go into your favor. And it seems that Lithuania are a little bit slower. However, they are throwing in more cavalry here with their crossbows. They're doing a great job at taking out some more of this horse, and obviously that artillery shot probably didn't hurt too much. Over in the woodland against the Teutonic Order and the Polish, it just seems like a little bit of a missile off. Luckily, the Polish do have that very nice position in the woodland area right here, where they can just, shoot away and use that cover. But it does seem like they are a little bit outmatched when it comes to missiles. There's 5 on the Polish side and I think 6 on the Teutonic Order, so they do have a little bit of an advantage in that fate. And obviously any cavalry coming through wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, something as well the Teutonic Order player in the north needs to think about is trying to get some of these diagonals down with their cavalry, because there's not really much room to utilize your horses. So yeah, using that cavalry and bringing it down into the blue player down here is definitely going to be an important thing. I'm also surprised maybe we're not seeing a few Polish horse actually coming all the way down here, or sorry, some of this Teutonic horse coming all the way down here and helping out in this huge cavalry engagement that is obviously erupting throughout the battlefield. And as you can see, we've got some axemen reinforcing now. The Ducal heavy axemen moving their way in. Let's see, is that good? I mean, it's not bad. That's honestly not that bad, considering we have close to 30,000 soldiers in the battle. I've seen less men lag just as much. That's obviously also a big props to the modders of 1212 as well. They've done a lot to try and improve performance as best as they can. So, this is a big hats off to the 1212 modders that we're basically playing at normal speed with 30,000 soldiers. Like, that's pretty insane. And then fine, yes, I love it when this happens. We are now seeing the other Teutonic Order player bring down a large portion of his cavalry, 4 whole units to help out in this engagement. But you need to be careful, because we do have the Lithuanians closing the distance with their infantry, almost closing the gap to this engagement, as the Kovarine comes in again, hitting more of this cavalry. The cavalry is going to come down, try and get some good charges. That's a very nice charge off there against the Polish knights, who have now committed to this engagement. We've got another engagement right there, and really it's up to both sides now to commit more and more of their cavalry. The Polish knights coming through the woodland, looking to get themselves some juicy crossbowmen as they continue to march lances down, and they're going to be hunting. I think they're just about going to miss that charge and then pull off to obviously go and help out elsewhere. The nice thing is right here now is that the Lithuanians can now commit a large amount of their forces to this cavalry engagement and kind of support their men. They've got some of these awesome axemen here, which are going to be great at taking care of the mounted knights from the Teutonic Order. But there is obviously a handful of infantry stuck in here as well for the other side, so they're going to be able to kind of balanced that out somewhat, and they've got a lot more infantry, and they're also setting up a perfect crossfire right here into the backs of these guys. I think they're a little bit too close right now, but they're going to try and obviously shoot these axemen and these horses in the side, so nice positioning there from the crossbowmen. And there we go, a big old engagement's now kicking off. We haven't got anything in the woods right now, but elsewhere, I mean, this is just a mosh pit with this many men. Things are just crazy. I'm so impressed with the performance. Like, I am so impressed by the performance. Like, it's a bit stuttering here and there, but no more than when we do like 20-odd thousand men, you know? So it seems like the drop-off isn't that bad. And I think with a larger map as well, the combat honestly would not be that bad either, because with that larger map mod, you get more spread out men, so the units wouldn't be as clumped on top of each other. So yeah, it's really impressive. I can't imagine how long it took these guys though to do this battle replay, because obviously this is running off my computer right now. My computer's pretty decent, it's definitely on the upper end, but when they played this battle live, they would have had to have relied on all 4 of their computers to run this. So yeah, I wonder how long it would have taken them to play this one out. And again, you can just see the infantry now engaging, just so much cavalry scattered around. It kind of feels like very much more of a medieval battle, right? That's what we're used to seeing, is lots of cavalry. For the most part, we can see that the cavalry on this side is being repelled pretty heavily. The Teutonic Order horse is just, yeah, really showing its quality in this engagement. The crossbow supports as well is obviously hammering a large amount of these kind of backward positions, and all the Grand Duke's bodyguard from Lithuania just took a couple crossbow volleys to the face, and he's going to have to get the hell out of there. I think he's coming over here to drop a rally maybe, because he desperately needs it. The Teutonic Order are just using their heavier infantry. The men are fighting with zeal and zealousness in their hearts, and it is showing, it's proving their worth. It's going to need, you know, more reinforcements here to really, really help out. And you can see the Ritterbruder have actually managed to pull through this position, and I think they're going to go directly onto some either these heavy knights who are going to counter-charge, which is never a good option, but the cavalry has come back and I think just stopped them. I mean, either way, this is not looking great for the flank, and they're going to try and just break this entire section, which is actually probably the better decision, because if you break this section, you free up like so much of the Teutonic Order army that can then just push on. So this is not a bad move to try and come in and, yeah, cause a mass rout right there. The engagement in the woods is still going, you know, just kind of steady. The crossbows have edged a little bit further forward, continuing just to harass the Polish who are using their PVs, which are obviously going to be pretty tanky. The PVs don't tend to really go down that quickly. So I guess it's just a kind of a time building, you know, kind of just buying themselves time, trying to keep the Polish a little bit out, because the Polish have a lot of these heavier infantrymen. They have a lot of the sergeants of the high period who will probably rip through these spearmen well, not rip through them, but they'll slowly whittle these guys down. Like, they're not going to be able to kill the sergeants, but they're still going to, you know, obviously hold their ground for a little bit longer. So the more time they can bide here is obviously going to be very useful over on this other side of the battlefield, where they are clearly winning the engagement. And here you go, you can see just some intense, like, these are just mosh pits, and I kind of feel like this is just a really, really nice looking battle because of the, like, you know, it just looks hectic. It just looks insane. There's infantry with cavalry, with swords, with archers. Like, it's just a messy battle, and I think that really obviously goes quite a way to represent how battles did devolve in, you know, medieval times. You would have cavalry just mixed in, fighting with everything, and, you know, archers putting down their crossbows and charging in to hold the line. Yeah, I mean, it just looks really cool. So yeah, as I said, guys, at the beginning of the video, let me know if this is something you want to see more of, because I'd be happy to, you know, burn my computer to the ground if it would make you guys enjoy the videos. I don't think this will be like a regular thing, like every week or something like that, but every so often, I'd love to do more of these large-scale battles. Especially if they ever use the larger map mod as well, I think that'd be really, really cool. So yeah, if we go back up to normal speed, as I said, it doesn't really tank too much from a decent angle either. You can see that the Teutonic Order have been managing to find their way through. However, the Lithuanians have done a great job at blocking this. They've also got a nice amount of cavalry, nice amount of crossbows focusing down these halberds as well. Obviously, such a deadly unit. The cavalry going to be moving around, and there is like a perfect gap here, but we do see some of the Polish knights coming down to cover and help out in this engagement. And there you go, the Lithuanians biting back, sending some of his Ritterbude back to whence they came. The dismounted infantry knights are doing an amazing job there. Obviously, you know, this is what they're designed to do, just getting stuck in against heavier armored targets. Very nice indeed by them. And yeah, they're actually sending back a decent amount of the Teutonic Order. And you got to remember as well, the Teutonic Order probably spent a lot of money on their knights, whereas maybe the Lithuanians spent a bit more of their cash over onto the infantry. So that's gonna be their saving grace. Oh, that was a huge cannon hit right there from the bombard, just bouncing and ripping through 4 or 5 of the units right there. Crossbows are hammering this line right now, but luckily the armor is holding for now. Polish have engaged on the right flank now, looking to start this up, and I think this was a smarter move. It seems like they are slowly losing against the Teutonic Order on that Lithuanian flank. So the quicker that these guys engage, the better it's going to be, because it's going to draw more attention up here and maybe give Lithuania a fighting chance in this battle. We are seeing some cavalry being pushed around this flank. I think they're going to be trying to break through this infantry line. And in 12-12, charging infantry with your cavalry is a pretty sound strategy, especially if they're not braced. You will rip that unit of infantry apart like it just does not exist. So yeah, like, you know, using this cavalry just to charge infantry is a very effective tactic. Especially if it's spears and it's braced and it's pretty dense, they'll be able to repel heavy cavalry engagements. But even like medium spears struggle against the heaviest cavalry, which is much how it should be. So if we take a look at the battle line at this point in the battlefield, you can see that the Teutonic Order have got some infantry through this battle line. Actually, by the looks of it, fresh infantry through the battle line, which they can use to obviously charge down and try and envelop these pockets of resistance. They also need to be very, very careful, though, because they are, as I was just saying, very vulnerable to these cavalry charges coming in against them. They've also, you know, are winning a pretty decisive victory on this right-hand side, just breaking all four units of these Lithuanian units. So that's going to free up a lot of cavalry to come colliding around this flank, and I definitely fear for these crossbowmen. We're also getting a lot more of the cavalry, I think, coming down from this side of the battlefield. They're going to be moving their ways in to basically just support their brothers down on this side. And I mean, yeah, look at that battle, man. Oh my god, that's insane, especially if we just like look down it like that. The crazy thing is, this is just half the battle as well. There is so much more still going on. I mean, oh my god, that is insane. That is very much insane. Definitely one of the largest battles I've ever done. I have done bigger battles on Total War Warhammer 2. I think at one point I pushed my computer to 70,000. It was very, very laggy. Slow-mo was fine, which is crazy. But yeah, 70,000 I did the Tomb Kings, and that was the largest battle I ever did. And actually, no, maybe slow-mo was still laggy at 70,000, and then I toned it down to like 50. But yeah, we definitely did do 70,000 men, which, well, I guess, you know, undead and stuff like that. That was wild. That's like the largest, and that's just what I wish for Total War one day. We'll get, you know, maybe a new engine, larger scale battles. That's what I really hope for. It's one of the reasons I can't get myself into Warhammer, is because the scale just isn't there for me, and I feel like it is very much needed. So yeah, we're immediately seeing all this cavalry wrapping around the right flank, pushing over and immediately going after all these crossbows. Some of the Lithuanian knights are trying to do some stuff, but there's hardly any of them left. You can see them routing in the distance. This infantry block has been enveloped by cavalry. You can see the punishment I was saying. You know, segregated infantry, rear charge, frontal charge by heavy Polish knights. Never going to go too well for them, but it's buying time. You know, this unit is a sacrificial lamb, because I mean, look at this flank. The Teutonic Order is just throwing everything forward at them and ripping through the Lithuanian crossbowmen to basically make them no longer exist, which is going to be a huge win for them. However, Van's power is still very even. Like, there's no real winner right now. You can see numbers-wise, only like a third of both forces have kind of gone down. You got 10,000 left, so they've got a little bit more, but 10,000 men left for the Teutonic Order, oh sorry, for the Polish, and around about 10,000 men for the Teutonic Order. Which is kind of wild considering they did deploy a decent amount more men to the battlefield. They're definitely racking up a lot of kills, and they'll be getting a lot of kills with all of these crossbows around now. And obviously the constant support as well. These Pavese crossbowmen are getting a perfect shot there into the side of the Lithuanians. The Ducal spearmen who are duking it out with the halberds. You got the cavalry coming in as well now. I really do apologize, guys, as well, if YouTube is compressing this video. It does really poorly with like green, so hopefully you guys can still see this battle. It's just kind of a very green and brown battlefield. How are the Polish doing up? It seems like the Polish have committed a lot to this right flank. The Knights, man, the Knights are just getting stuck in here for the Teutonic Order. And obviously supported by this heavier infantry. Again, I love the armor on them. The chest piece and the chainmail, it's awesome. You know, these Knights in the Wood are doing a great job at just holding back the Polish. I love to also really enjoy the Polish axemen as well. I feel like I just say that about every unit. Oh, I really enjoy this, I really enjoy that. I just love 1212. Such a great mod, especially now that the campaign is you know, semi-out. See the forces there in the woodland realm fighting hard. Yeah, for the most part, it seems like the Polish are being beaten back by the Knights. Even, you know, being bogged down, the cavalry is doing a great job, and obviously, you know, it's only a matter of time until this entire Lithuanian flank just crumbles. You know, the Teutonic Order are taking casualties on this side, but nowhere near enough, and you've even got some Teutonic cavalry chasing down these bowmen to make sure that they do not come back, because they're already routing, they haven't broken yet. So these crossbows could come back and still play a huge part in the battle, so you know, chasing them down is not a bad idea if you have the ability to do so. We are seeing some infantry being caught, but yeah, oh my god, yeah, look at that. The Lithuanians are losing heavy men. And look at that, we also have one of these units as well. We've kind of got the Livonian Order symbol on them, which is pretty cool. For a second I thought they were maybe a Holy Order unit, but they are just a basic unit. Oh my god, the Grand Master's bodyguard is just like staring down death, putting down his lancers and into the back of these poor knights, these mounted knights. Right into their rear, and yeah, that's probably going to send them flying. As soon as the casualties rack up on them, yeah, they're going to be gone. That's going to see this entire Lithuanian force broken. They have barely anything left besides like these 4 units of infantry. That's about it. We do have some of the awesome Knights in Poland, though. They are set up, and I mean, that's pretty goddamn scary as well. The Polish Eagle up there, they're like, we defend this flank no matter what comes round there. We will charge it for honor, for glory, and for the world's end, as they're basically protecting this flank. Just 2 brave horse units, and they're about to be under a lot of pressure any second now. How's the fight in the woods going now? You can see the Polish are just being repelled, which I'm really surprised to see. It just seems like their morale just isn't holding. As I said, I'm really surprised to see that, because I was expecting the Teutonic Order to get really ripped away on this flank, because a lot of their cavalry was committed down to the south. They look like they've spent a lot more on their cavalry, whereas Poland spent a lot more on their infantry. It doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, maybe it's slower grind, like maybe in 5 minutes they will win, but it's just not quick enough. We also do have the King's Bodyguard here from Poland moving around, probably going to try and win this cavalry engagement. Oh, it seems like he just got caught and he's about to be counter-charged. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He almost got that charge off, but a handful of horses have broken through. Now the melee continues. Unfortunately, yeah, the Polish General Greg could not get his charge off. As you can see, yeah, you can see some of these crossbows have just come back from routing, which is obviously what I was saying was going to be a pretty big issue if they weren't careful. But luckily they were here, they were pursuing them, so they can quickly just dive on the crossbows, and they'll deal with them within the next couple of minutes for sure. This flank is just continually being wrapped up. You've got infantry on the side of these poor Lithuanians. You've got these halberds being thrown forward, thrust into their opponents. Honestly, I'm surprised that they haven't broken already. They've only got, what, 5 units in total left remaining? And then maybe a handful like out here, which are dying. I'm very surprised we're not seeing a big old break. I mean, the morale is holding up here. Obviously, rear charges are going to be pretty devastating to that morale because they don't have a general to back them up. And stuff like this is going to probably end up breaking them. But even still, like, I'm really surprised that these guys are still alone. And oh my god, the amount of crossbow fire going in there, slaughtering these knights. And in battles of this scale, I'm assuming they're just not looking. It takes them, you know, that split second to get them away. The crossbows just send them back. And that's going to open up more of this flank. Like beforehand, they were safeguarding the rear charges into these Ducal spearmen. But now there is nothing to back them up. And, yeah, once again, that's going to completely open up that flank. We've got some cavalry in the woods here. Oh, did these horses... Oh, that's kind of cool. The Ritterbrüder here just dismounted to get stuck in. That's cool to see. And they're gonna remount now, probably. This is always like a really underutilized feature. It's always great to see when players do dismount their horses. So yeah, this flank is going to come crushing around. And I think it's looking pretty ill for the Polish, but maybe they can rally. They are starting to have some pretty good progress over here. They've managed to get some cavalry around the side. So the German men-at-arms only pushing in, but they're in a bit of a crossfire right now, and these crossbows are just firing away. I mean, it's very hard to tell who's who in this mosh pit, but, you know, they definitely managed to get some damage off of them, but now they're engaged. I'm sure that the German men-at-arms will be able to have their fun. They are going to get swamped as well, but I think infantry is pretty close to coming through this gap as well. Yeah, you're going to get some more infantry coming through. And oh my god, look at that! That was a huge break right there. I mean, as I said, probably in the next couple minutes that would break, right? It did allow the Teutonic Order to come flying up this flank, but they did, have a huge... Oh my god, that's a massive break. And now the Teutonic Order is quickly trying to retreat their forces, form up a defensive position, and hope that their allies can come in. The Polish are not giving up quite yet. This Teutonic Order general has also gone down. He's been completely surrounded. Even the crossbowmen are diving into this fight, trying to kill the Grand Master's bodyguard, and succeeding in doing so. So, I mean, that was completely worth it. And that's obviously, as you can say, that's probably one of the reasons that we got this huge break along this battle line. And this battle is definitely not over yet. Nowhere near over. As the numbers are very similar, cavalry is probably very similar, and literally anything can happen, and it's really up to how the players position their forces. It seems like the Lithuanians though are completely broken. Their last 3 units are running. They're not gone yet. They can still maybe come back and rally, but I highly doubt it, and I think this cavalry is swooping into the battle to make sure that that does not happen. And yeah, we're getting some more breaks, but yeah, it's really going to be up to whether or not they can do this. And I'm glad to see the Polish are kind of chasing them down, not letting them form up, trying any rear charges, anything before they brace. It's going to be very important. This unit did just about brace in time. So you can just see how much more effective that, that defensive shield wall was. They were braced, they weren't completely in position. They basically prevented these guys from smashing through the front line, because the cavalry tend to do a lot more damage as they pull through a unit. After knocking them down, they trample the men. So you can see the defensive position right there and how effective it was. And now these crossbows are just shooting. However, the crossbows are pretty undefended. The sword infantry is getting over here. If I was the Polish, I would just take all this cavalry and hammer down here, because right now they are being volleyed after volleyed after volleyed. And look at the damage that is doing on this unit of heavy German horse, bringing them down to 60 to 50. But they are going to be able to get that charge off. And yeah, you can look at how far they get into that formation. And if no reinforcements do come, that's going to be pretty scary for them. And you can see the battle lines are moving up. I think the Polish have this one in the bag, if I'm honest. Not in the bag, but I think the Polish have a very good chance to come back and win this one. As you got another unit of infantry breaking there, the unit of sergeants going down. I think the Polish might come back. Man, what a battle. It's actually insane that a battle this large can have this like of a crazy ending. You would assume that one side would just really dominate. I thought that was the case. I assumed that the Teutonic Order had this one, after how devastating that right flank was. I mean, just look at the bodies piled up. I thought they were completely wrapping around, but the Polish are saying, no, this is where we make our stand. This is where we hold them. And now both sides are teamed up for one last battle. Unfortunately, though, it does seem like this unit of halberds is breaking. That's pretty catastrophic because they were doing a very good job at holding these guys in place. Also, obviously, now we return to like the size of a normal battle. This is like a normal battle. And this is also like double the size of any Warhammer 2 battle just at this point in the engagement, you know. 9,000 men is generally double, if not even more than like a Warhammer battle. It's just insane. Like, it really is. The scale we fought at in this engagement is crazy. And yeah, do let me know as well. I know I said if you want to see more of this, but let me know if you want them to push it even more, because I'm sure they're going to watch this video. So if you guys want to see them like could try and go to like 40,000 men, then let them know in the comments. Obviously, definitely using the bigger battle mod would be almost, you know, a necessity for sure. I'm really surprised that they're letting these crossbows shoot. They obviously are engaged. Now these guys have turned their sides to the crossbows, which is going to be pretty bad for them. We also have some more of the Teutonic Pavese pushing up as well. Actually, they're going to fall back now, looking not to overcommit their battle. And then there we go. Finally, we get some men engaging into these guys. It is only crossbowmen, but they are Pavese crossbows, so they should be doing kind of good against the Livonian Order crossbows. However, obviously, infantry is going to be thrown up into a mix, and that's going to be pretty good for them. Yeah, honestly, I don't know who's going to win this. I think whoever wins it's going to be this cavalry, and it's really up to Poland to push this cavalry advantage they have on this side. They need to just commit their horses, try and kill the last Grandmaster's bodyguard, and then wrap around. Because right now, morale is just not holding on this flank. Yeah, they need to utilize this cavalry if they want to win this battle. They also have some crossbowmen up here as well, which is pretty nice. Yeah, like basically just throw your cavalry around and be like, bro, if you don't stop me, I'm going to rear charge all of this and probably break it. Because their men are getting very tired at this point. Very, very tired indeed. You know, that crossbow fire as well. It's just picking off a handful of horses here. Like, you know, 1 or 2 horses. Breaking this unit of 15 horses would be huge. But luckily, the nice thing in 12-12 is, like, even though Pavese will get the horse engagement now, they clash into one another. Some guys come around the side. There you go. Lithuania finally broken. But yeah, as I was saying, like, the nice thing is about Pavese crossbow and late tier missiles is they're actually really good in melee. So it's not like, you know, they're just kind of a one and done unit after out of ammunition. And there you go. The Polish have dominated this side. With their horses, that's going to allow them a lot of freedom to come around and scare off a large portion. It's where everyone at the Polish front line can hold whilst that happens. It seems like over on this other side, though, the Grandmaster, with the support of the halberds, is repelling them. However, they're also doing a pretty good job over here as well. This cavalry is probably going to come around the back here, rear charge them, try and take them down. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they can take care of these units right here, that's huge. You've got some axemen coming over as well. Are they going to be able to do it? Like, they just need time right now. And there you go. You actually see the Grandmaster's bodyguard pulling back, looking to buy some more time. The cavalry is actually being pinned down as well. This is really bad for them. They need all the freedom they can get with their cavalry now that they win that, because their front line is struggling, but so is the Teutonic Order. I literally have no idea who is going to win this battle. Balanced power suggests the Teutonic Order is slightly in favor, but I honestly don't know. Like, it's literally going to be up to morale. Whoever's morale holds. Because if this unit breaks, it frees up a lot of units to come around the flank. But if these guys break it, again, frees up a lot. The Polish have a handful of men in reserve here as well. They can commit forward. The cavalry is struggling, but slowly winning. They've got men coming down who have broken and reinforcing. And this is huge, actually. These are 2 very fresh units of infantry coming down. You've got all the cavalry. This is a really smart move by the Polish. Instead of leaving their cavalry here where there's a lot of infantry, we're actually committing them all the way around where the cavalry engagement is properly going. These crossbows probably going to try and get a shot off on the Grandmaster's bodyguard before getting charged. Pretty nice move there. Also, maybe a charge into the side of these guys wouldn't be bad. Yeah, that charge, that volley is going to be very painful. I think whoever's general goes down is going to probably be the end of the battle for either side. But look at that, the Polish have now just secured a killing blow right there through that front line. Breaking their spearmen is insane. I honestly have no idea who is going to win this. I thought it was a Teutonic Order. Now I kind of think it's going to be the Polish. And then I thought it was a Teutonic Order. And now I'm back to, I think, to my Polish prediction. With the cavalry coming around here, I think they just have just enough. Oh, this is going to be painful, though. They brace just in time, but yeah, it's going to be very deadly. I feel very sorry for that crossbow unit right there. At least they have cavalry here now. I mean, yeah, look at their numbers just drop. Oh, my God. They lost like 25 men in that one charge. Brutal stuff. We are literally seeing breaks from every side. That's really big, though. Taking care of them spearmen is going to open up this entire left flank for the Polish to come around. And if I was the Polish, I'd probably look to maybe hit something in the center. Oh, but look at that. Now the Polish are starting to be very close to breaking. Honestly, this is an insane battle. I honestly have no idea who's going to win this one. You can look at the battle side. If the Teutonic Order lose their Grand Master, though, I think that'll be enough. But the Polish general is just as engaged as everyone else. So, yeah, it's really come down to these morales and who's going to be able to hold. We've got another break going on down this battle line, which is going to open up another flank. It's really important when these guys break these halberds, because that's kind of a thing stopping this cavalry from really succeeding.
The men are running.
But now look at that. Oh, another massive break right here. Setting these guys back. The cavalry coming in. Looking to go ahead and cause that. And look at that. A mass break. That could be it. The balance of power shifting back into being even. And slightly even in favor of the Polish. Man, how insane. And some cavalry's come back from routing. These guys need to hurry. If they do not get here soon enough, the battle is over. But this cavalry is going to continue to come round. Look at the morale on these guys. Running into the back of the halberds. Trying to rip them down. I mean, in the back. I mean, just look at that charge. It's going to send them flying. Freeing up so much infantry right there.
The unit is running from the enemy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But oh my god. I think these crossbows are killing their own horses as well. I think they might be killing their own Grand Master. Because they'll be shooting into this blob. And look at that. I think they just lost the battle right there. Their general broke, and I think that was down to them shooting their own general in the back, and I think we're just going to see a big mass rout there by the Teutonic Order. The cavalry arrives just a little bit too late, and man, what an insane ending that was. Holy crap. I can't believe that, how much of a crazy battle that was with this many men. You know, 29,000 men in this battle, and we get probably one of the best endings we've seen in a long time. Oh my god. If you know, I feel sorry for those of you who just skipped through the video and didn't make it to this part, because that was wild. What a great ending to that battle. Holy crap, that was yeah, that was crazy. Big shout out to all the players who did dive into this engagement and played alongside each other. I really appreciate the replay, and thank you guys for sending it into my channel. I am always looking for more replays as well, guys. So if you have a very good online battle, whether it's a siege or a normal battle on land, you know, preferably land battles have scenarios or kind of something interesting to it like this, send it in my way over on my Discord. Link is in the description down below. Just stick it in the battle replay section, and I'll be sure to take a look at it. Just let me know what mods you use, and also a bit about the battle. Not loads, just kind of like how long it was, you know, what kind of happened, what factions and stuff like that. So yeah, if we take a look at the kills now, do keep in mind that these kills obviously times them by 2 because there were 2 times men on the battlefield. We've got a unit of cavalry with over 600 kills. Pretty goddamn good. Crossbows all with 400, 500 kills. That's pretty gnarly indeed. Over on Lithuanian side, yeah, they kind of really struggled to rack up a lot of kills against the Teutonic Order. They really did, and they took a pounding, losing a majority of their force. The first Teutonic Order player we're seeing his cavalry of 250 kills, which is too bad, which is pretty good, but again, not really a ton, surprisingly. And then finally on the last one, the Bombard with almost 300 kills is pretty good. A lot of these crossbows with 300 kills. But again, not really with a crazy amount, considering there was 2 times the people to kill. I was kind of expecting maybe a little bit more. The Grand Master doing good, for sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. I upload every single day, so make sure to check out. And we have epic battles like this. And oh yeah, finally 600 kills on this cavalry. Okay, I'll give it to them. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, fish out.